Jesus Christ, I can't figure out what's going on with this fucking thing. Hey, Unknown. I don't know if you're watching my live stream on YouTube or not. Good morning. These two down here suck. You know, when you see your sorcerer playing mid, you guys should be at the front. When you see a sorcerer that's doing God's work, you know how useless you are in game for the rest of the game. I got you, Unknown. Now what, punks? Now what? What now? That's the Minotaur. Fuck no, you guys suck. I'm gonna take all the perks. squad sucks, you gotta do everything you can to become the fighter with a sorcerer. You know what I mean? Had my flame shot, I could have got Minotaur again. I wish somebody would guard and defend me. But Hanzo's up here, whoever this is. Cliff. Cliff just got us, bro. No, this isn't Cliff. Alpin. Alpin. Not Alpine, but Alpin. Come on down. Shouts out Pakistan. Had my mic muted. I love everybody from Pakistan. Shouts out Bolt Boy or Bull Boy. I'll figure out what your name is when I see it here. Shouts out Miss Kai Alpin. Hi, Tiggs. Go see your mommy. I know you wanted to see her this morning, but she was sleeping, buddy. She doesn't get up at 7 anymore. 7:30, whatever time she got up at. Who called this morning, hon? Really, eh? brush my face, my teeth, and my hair. And then make protein shakes and vitamins, kombucha, and a little bit of kombucha, and them ginger immunity boosters. And then I'm gonna sit and some water, and then I'm gonna sit down for a while. My shoulders. Wakey, wakey. Good morning, everybody. It's like 10 or 11. It's 11, so as usual. I slept okay, but then I didn't sleep very good. And there's many factors that played into this: telephones, cats, cat food, cats meowing, cats, and more cats. I am a very nice guy, is what I realize. Nice guys finish last. I don't know if you guys really truly know that. You don't want to be a nice guy. You don't get nothing in life. You don't get no sex being a nice guy. This one will be over pretty quick here. I'll probably play one more and then that's it. I got my credit score as high as I can get it today. In 45 minutes or so here, an hour. Well, that's it for today's gaming. Back to regularly scheduled DIY. I don't even know if I'll be doing any episodes right away, just because I'm not really feeling very happy and chipper. So I think the best thing to do is stick away from the live stream for a bit. Pretty grouchy. My shoulder's killing me. Driving angry pains right into my eyes, which is very bad. And also, I gotta do a lot of stuff with my shoulder today. That's very, very, very bad. Not hungry though. Get some. That guy got away. So that monkey can move. Sun is a very powerful character. Straight running, all 3 extra attributes on speed boots, and then just get them the movement boots, and then get all the attack weapons with movement speed increases. But is it true you can't get any more than 40%? Is that misreading something, or is this true? Even with stacks? Or do they let you stack? I have to read. Now I'm getting super nerdy. I have to read into the dynamics of this game. That is because I will be world champion right away. Again, Colombia's world champion. I might pick North America this season. It was easier in North America than it was in Colombia. I made it further in Colombia, but that's because I'm much better now than I was in my first season tournament team. These guys are seriously shitty though. 3/4 of the players on Mobile Legends are either bots, how do they allow bots to play this game at that high in a tournament, right? You're telling me this app can't tell if a bot is playing on its app? Fuck off. You're lying. The same way they can tell if you're cheating on this app, they can tell if a bot is on this app, right? So in life, in real life, you know how they make you do that little bot test to see if you're a bot? Bots can pass. There are many bots that can pass that. Pick the three symbols, that the three squares that the bus is in. Many bots can do that. They might not get it 100% of the time, but neither do you, because that shit is all inaccurate. Clearly, the bus's window mirror is in the fourth picture. You hit it because you clearly know what a bus is, and that bus is the mirror is attached to the bus. So you click the fourth picture, you get it wrong, right? You go back, you do it again, you click the three pictures, you get it right. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. Those bots are everywhere on the internet right now. They can either help you or hinder you, depending on YouTube's. You know how they say YouTube has an algorithm? It doesn't. The bots they put in place that are on the platform to inflate certain influencer streams through, like advertisers pay for the bots, right? Google takes the money from the advertisers, but what you don't know is Google also has vested interest in streamers, okay? Just go check out how many channels on YouTube Google has. I can see it because I have backdoor access to the other shit, and I'll show you guys when oh no, you can't see that. The only way you could see that is if I do it while on this, but I can't. Yeah, it's weird. I have to use my other phone and record it and show you. I'll at Google. There's hundreds of channels on YouTube at Google, but they all have 42 million subscribers. Now think about why that would be a thing, right? Well, it's called backdoor inflating. The same thing that I'm not allowed to do with my wife, these scum suckers do with all of their channels that Google advertisers allow into their little ring of corruption. Period. Flat out. Straight up. I know how this shit works now. And also, remember, look at who I am. Remember where I got, and then when I started talking, you saw the difference in streaming quality, right? So in Canada, I'm still held down heavily by shackles. It's all I can clearly tell you right now. I have to actually go to court with Canada and fix all of Canada's laws governing the people of Canada. In the United States, they have 50 times the outspokenness that I have right now because of Trump. Probably one of the, Trump is a good friend of mine, and I will make sure that every scumsucker in Canada they left America and they moved to Canada because the overreach here is incredibly bad, and all the police in Canada know it. There was a secret memo released. The head of the RCMP released a secret memo. You can Google it, secret memo. It's out on the internet. Google has it out there on the internet right now. Inside of that memo, it stated that the state of Canada is in fucking peril because of the government's actions and all of their rollout. Now they got this new bill, Bill C2, I think it is. Holy shit, wait till you see the overreach that's supposed to come in place if they get that bill to pass. I'm doing streams on this all, I guess next week. I'm really busy right now. But if you live in Canada and you're doing nothing, you're a muppet. Because in 5 years, you'll be a slave at the highest level. You'll own nothing, and I highly doubt you'll be happy unless they love popping pills. Which I highly don't recommend. The adverse side effects are just insane. Probably worse than what's going on. So now you understand. But the problem is that Most people are really dumbed down. So you might remember that right now. But oh jeez. But to save your life, you wouldn't remember what I just said next week. You couldn't, highly doubt you could even remember half of what I said. See, I'm the one that's been doing this for 7 years daily, right? 17, 20 hours a day some days. There's in the beginning, I didn't sleep really. I had a bad time sleeping. So I was like 24 hours a day because you got to see me sleep. But all those analytics added up to a bunch of data that has a story. And 7 years ago, that story was pretty epic. But now you see that story has changed. And that's impossible because of, well, things like what are referred to as impression rates. And I have millions and millions and millions and millions of impressions all over the internet. You'll never be able to touch my impression. You'll never have a shot at touching my impression rate. My hashtag is in Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and it's not done once. It's done 15,000 times just on wowinfo. It's almost 16,000 here. It doesn't sound like a lot. You have 3. I have 16,000 just in wowinfo. Hashinfo has 6 or 7,000 just in here. Hash TV has a bunch. But then there's all my hashtags I used on 27,000 videos. Plus I had another 6,700, 7,000 videos privated. I'm not counting any of those hashtags, which I used hash info and a bunch of hashtags during that. I'm sitting on at least 75 to 85 to 95,000 different very important hashtags. How many do you have? And that's the bare minimum. There's some I'm sure clear 100K. But I have hundreds of thousands of keywords that I've chosen for my videos. So again, and I'll tell you this now, you can't catch me. You're never gonna catch me. I learned how to do this almost a decade ago, and you'll see soon. I'm billionaire. There's no one in Canada. I checked again. There are 2 streamers in Canada. Fucking wet noodles, promoted by Google Ads. I literally buy the most devilish forms of thinking you could have. I won't join with them. Never. Not a million. Have you ever heard of doing it on your own? No, probably not. Do you have any bosses in your family that started a business when they were told they were stupid or they shouldn't do this, or maybe the entities, the powers that be, kept them down for 10, 20, 30 years and then they passed on something to you? Probably not. There's not a lot of people in this world that have anything, right? The way this world works is through corruption. Your parents get a job, they don't put their foot in the door. They hold that door open with all their force, and they stop everybody else who's far more better at the job than you, deserving of the job, and earn that job by seniority. They don't let you in. They let their sons in, crackhead sons, and everything else in between. Alcoholic, diddlers, everything. They let them in. So when you wonder why corporations are so corrupt, just remember it's families that have made corporations so corrupt. You just remember families will cover up for their children in times of high stress situations. When they've done extremely wrong, they will cover up and hide for them NDAs. And I can't tell you much on that, but I'll tell you this. I know for a fact that's happening in Winnipeg right now. And that's the stat. Do you want your children in those circles? I fucking don't. So I'll create a business for friends and family to, get out of this sick cycle of evil. But you have to have a brain, right? You have to know how to think, and you have to know how to act, and you have to know how to talk. That's why you don't have that, because your boss tells you what to do every day. You get to work, and your job is laid out for you, right? That's not the way a boss operates. So clearly, if you think you're a boss, you're not. Until you start your own business, literally that's the definition of a boss. You own the business, you are the boss. That's literally the epitome of a fucking definition for a boss, period. When you work for yourself, when you don't get told what to do or get on your knees by someone else. You understand what I just said? It's pretty straightforward. But yet there's a bunch of you who think your boss with big mouths, and you're But look at the circle, man. You got 3 people in Winnipeg with a fuck Carney sticker on their truck. No one's got a fuck Carney sticker. So I gotta go get 2 on my truck today. Absolutely bang 2 of them. I think I'm gonna sell them. I think I'm gonna come up with my own version. Fuck you, Carbo Carney or something. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I should just put fuck you, Carney as a hashtag forever on the show. I can put FK Carney. Hashtag FK Carney. There's not a thing they can do about it. If I lose free speech in Canada, I'm taking Canada to court and then I'm leaving Canada. But if free speech is gone in Canada, no, this place is a shithole. If we are still allowed to have free speech, it's less of a shithole. But we have a dumb bitch on our money, so it's a shithole. You know what I mean? When you know, you know. But the pussies out there, no backbone. The only way to get somebody, look at Jamaica. I'm so proud of Jamaica. I always knew Rastas were the real deal. They kicked England out of fucking Jamrock. You guys, you can't make that shit up. I'll never forget the day Jamrock kicked fucking Brits out of England, out of fucking Jamaica. I'll never forget. It was one of them. I cried. I cried on live stream. I showed it. I showcased it. I said, these are real men. I guess there was women there too, but I saw a bunch of men saying, just, you don't even want to understand how bad it was with the Royals there. They're not welcome there. They don't want them there. You don't enslave a country and then expect to be invited there. This bitch country does that all the time. But trust me, it's about to end. The indigenous people are getting a voice again. Soon their voices will be heard worldwide. What the Royals did to them. That just sickens me, you know. That sickens me. Between the Catholic Church and the Royals, those 2 entities should be in jail right now. And both of them should be dissolved in Canada. If you go to a Catholic church, it shows that you're racist against the indigenous people they fucking own this land more than we do. They're the caretakers, right? The Europeans came here and look what fucking they did to Canada. Look at the forest fires. There was no forest fires when the indigenous people ran this country. Fuck, okay, there was 1 or 2. There wasn't 9,000. Oh, all up near all the mining fucking camps. Wonder what's going on. All those trees are only 70, 80, 100 years old. That means they reset Canada. But no, everyone's too stupid to see. You look at the vegetation to see how old your country is. When your trees are that tall, you think this is an old nation? They did this 150 years ago. You know how gold works? Gold seeps through the cracks in the pressure lines. So gold pushes up. So every year, every 100 years, there's a new gold ability to mine in those areas because those pressure cracks push up. You don't have to understand. I'm telling you, heat rises, it pushes up through the cracks. So magma and all that stuff, like we have Yellowstone is about to erupt too. So you can tell that everything in the core is heating up to this crazy level and pushing up. Last week, they closed down the geysers, or 2 weeks ago, they closed down the geysers in Yellowstone for the rest of the year. So right now, something's going on. And now if you watch Alien Resident, it looks like the aliens in that show, which we know aliens are just people from the unknown lands, the hidden lands, because you can't travel in a straight line. Those people are either with us or they're against us, or they're trying to ruin the evil corpse ability to reign supreme on us, right? So how do they do that? Well, they have to create chaos on the planet Earth. They have to create chaos. They have to make it look like there's just like a natural disaster. The term natural isn't even real. When you understand that snow is man-made, rain is man-made, you quickly understand that ice ages are and have always been man-made. Volcanic eruptions, volcanoes are man-made. You want me to go on? China makes islands
that are man-made. Go Google China makes an entire island. Now I want you to use your brain and think if it's possible that in the last 1,000 or 100 years, there have been other countries like China that have developed technology that is far superior to anything in Canada or anything we will ever have. And those countries can also make land masses. When you understand that volcanoes are man-made, and that when a volcanic eruption happens, sometimes an island floats up to out of that volcanic molten rock, right? Everything is not natural. The term synthetic, that is a natural term. So it took Quigley to explain this to me. And I'll tell you, if you're into organics, if you're into natural, you're probably too stupid to understand this. Science is a very deep topic. When you understand that humans are made in a test tube, not in a woman's belly, originally, but out of the science came our ability to learn, right? What started in a test tube is referred to as an experiment. And that experiment you must watch your experiment evolve, adapt to the environment at hand. An island with only 7 people on it for 100 years, how many people live there now, 100 years later? Now let's go take a look at the breeding habits and styles of those people. Let's look at the children, the second and third generation children. Let's look at the parents from the clones we dropped off. So the clones had babies, which then had babies. So the grandparents are clones. The children of the grandparents become parents of their own and make babies. Now we watch those babies and study the parents of the clones. You don't have to understand what I'm saying. That's what's motherfucking happening right now. You guys are far too stupid to even grasp 90% of what I just said. Some of you grasped all of it. Very few of you